My fucking sink looked like it looked seriously. It looked like
shit in your sink.
I hate you guys.
Well, we found our blurb for the beginning of the episode.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And that's when I found out that putting Rogaine on your genitals doesn't work. It doesn't make it grow better. It just burns.
I think that's Brogaine. Hey,
Actually, that's, you know what? I'm not going to go into that. That's a Pornhub thing.
Oh, is that your channel?
Oh, you know it.
Brogaine.
I just pulled that one off the top of my head because I didn't realize we were starting so quickly.
Yeah,
Spencer was like, go. And I was like, oh, shit.
Well, Casey sent me a link to the Brogaine channel, and I saw what it was. I didn't want to watch.
Click on it?
No.
Pussy.
You're not going to put any Godzilla in there.
I was going to say next time include some Godzilla. Hunter will be all in. He'll be all in. Fucking A, well, welcome to Beacon House Podcast today, you guys. Thanks for joining us again. And we are squarely into the frickin' month of November now, the month of what all happens in November? Elections. And I feel like I'm really, really excited about Thanksgiving.
I voted. Yay.
There we go.
The fall solstice, I
We have
believe.
and we're pre-recording this, so by the time you guys hear this, the midterm elections will be decided and all that kind of stuff. So we hope it turned out the way you wanted it to. I'm pretty sure that however it turns out, it's not going to be the way I want it to, because I'm one of those weird fringe guys. But hope you got what you wanted. To fucking whoever.
Glad you're not bitter about it.
I mean, I'm destined to be
Thanksgiving happens in November. Black
No,
Friday.
that's the next month. Those are both in December.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim.
Sorry, you're wrong, Shirley. So anyway,
man.
what's going on? What have you guys been doing here now?
I've been sick all week.
Oh, have you?
I think a lot of people. I've been borderline sick. Like, again, knock on wood. There's no fucking wood here.
There's I think there was a virus going around.
Well,
it started
it
off
got
as a head cold.
For the first time, it got cold, and that all screws everybody's sinuses up,
Yeah.
and then that. I haven't seen actually the science on it, but whenever it gets cold and wet, the first time, it always happens right around Halloween, and then everybody gets sick, and then they kind of acclimate and they adjust, But yeah, including me. I mean, I'm even a little stopped up. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that thing.
It's terrible.
And what's weird is working night, like graveyard. Like most people, normal people go to bed at a reasonable hour, even if it's 3:00 in the morning, and then they wake up sick. I had literally experienced getting sick from midnight until 7 a.m. just slowly,
You, my friend,
gradually getting worse.
You need to
and
keep
worse.
I'm here to tell you, everybody listening to this too, this actually works. Of all the supposed possible cold remedies.
Zicam tablets?
No, don't even fuck with Zicam. Just get a bottle of zinc from like Walgreens, just generic zinc, 50 milligrams or whatever the standard dosage is of zinc. And the minute you start to feel like a cold's coming on, like, I feel that tickle in my throat, or, my glands are swollen or whatever, start fucking taking zinc. Take like 2 of them and then like sleep on that after a while. And take 2 more the next morning when you wake up like that. Your chances of never noticing the cold are about 90%.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you do that. But if you wait too long or you wait till you're already sick, like a lot of people don't. Zicam is basically a zinc-based lozenge. And it was big when it came out. But a lot of people didn't understand. They would wait till they were sick and they would go take Zicam. And it wouldn't fucking do anything because you're already sick. But I read an article. I read a big study about this where like they say that like the way our immune systems work is you really, if everything works properly, you shouldn't even hardly notice getting a cold. Like you should almost never know that you were sick. Like your body's designed to fight the virus off and get rid of everything without you even really having any symptoms. But somewhere down through the evolutionary process, your body developed all these weird alarm mechanisms, which is like the runny nose and like the coughing and the headache and like it just your blood pressure goes all crazy and just all this weird. The feeling of being sick as fuck. That feeling is not actually the virus, it's your body reacting to like the presence of the virus. Like your body, oh shit, somebody's in here. Oh fuck, and your body just goes crazy and shits its pants. Hopefully not literally, but there are, there's that kind of sickness too. Don't leave the house with that one. But supposedly if you get zinc in your system, like a pretty good helping of zinc, I'm not saying take like a whole bottle of it. There's no telling, you'd probably turn into a transformer. But like, and you would make that sound
As you died from zinc overdose.
Yeah, and you would be
metal poisoning,
and you'd be like a half Volkswagen when they found you. but fucking no. The supposedly the way it works is you get all the zinc in your system and it turns off all your little alarms. So the nose stops running, the throat stops being sore, like and the cold just runs its course while you're going on about your business. It totally works. And our good buddy and friend, shout out Rachel Reese, totally. We were talking about that recently too. She's like, yeah, it totally works, but you got to catch it when you feel it coming on.
That sucks, guys. I was in Orlando, Florida with my wife where it was mid to high 70s, sunny and no rain the entire time. Gentle breezes every day.
Oh, is that right? Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I've been here. Yeah, Casey and I are it's all cold and rainy and terrible, and we worked ourselves there to the point of
he was
our
telling
eyes
me
are bleeding.
that while you guys watched the honeymoon unfold on Instagram and shit, that you were talking about how angry I look in all the pictures.
You did not like the chicken tenders, apparently.
I agree with you, but I didn't know.
Go look at Hunter's Comic Fan 92. Go look at his Instagram. Like most of his pictures are you just not excited about food.
Just arms crossed, just
scowling. There's like a plate
chicken tenders again.
There's like a bowl of soup, and you're just like scowling out. You're like mad that someone served you some food.
See, I have to flip a switch real quick when I find out a picture's being taken, and I always forget where the camera is on the back of Libby's phone. So she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do," when she told me to begin with, but she's like, "Yeah, we'll take some pictures." And then I think she always snapped the one as I was like getting ready to like find the camera and stuff, because I'm always like not looking at it, and my mouth just looks downturned and unhappy. And it's
you have resting bitch face.
Well, I will say this: as far as like turning up in pictures, you're still way better at than I am. Like it's almost impossible to get a good picture of me. Like, and it's terrible.
I appreciate it.
It's terrible. I mean, you just look like you, but not real excited. Like when I pose for pictures, and it still comes out horrible. Like I don't have a picture face. It's terrible.
Hey, Spencer, smile. I did smile.
Yeah.
I smiled last time.
It's bad too. It's bad. And like, I've been in pictures with like people that they're like, "Hey, pose for a picture," and it's people like, I don't know, like some of our friends that just always look good in pictures, and so they have that instant picture face that they do because they've been photographed a million fucking times, and they go, and it just looks like a magazine or something like that. But I hang out with these people sometimes, so they go, "Oh, let's pose for a picture," and then you see me just like contort my face into this like lumpy bowl of mashed potatoes,
dude.
And you can see them like they look at the picture after they take it and they go, and they just sort of
delete that on Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw.
And I'm like, "Hi, did you ever get those pictures?"
There's one of both of us on our last day at Universal. Libby was like, "We'll get voodoo donuts finally," which. Surprisingly, not as bad for a diabetic as you would think going in. It looked horrifying.
Spoken like a true diabetic that eats sugar.
I try not to.
What is a voodoo donut? What is that?
It's just a place that they've got all. There's like
a Fruity Pebble or a Captain Crunch donut.
Yeah, which is called "Oh Captain, My Captain." There's an 8 Mile that's like a donut.
Were you in Orlando?
Yeah,
with spaghetti.
No, that would have been better. It's got a bunch of M&Ms pressed into the chocolate on it.
They have a Captain Crunch donut.
Yeah,
I'd almost drive 9 hours just to have that.
It's an 11-hour drive. Don't believe the GPS.
Fuck.
We'll make it a 9-hour trip.
On the picture thing, Libby, she was taking a picture of her about to eat the donut or something, and she did it super poised and everything, and like it was about to be consumed, but I guess she did it in such a way where she could still smile and just looked like a champ the whole time. And then she was like, "Okay, your turn." And I was sitting there, I processed what she did because I was flabbergasted by it. I was like, that's smart because you don't have a bunch of shit in your mouth. That looks great. I don't know how to do that. So I just bit real hard into it, and I've got chipmunk cheek, and there's all this sugary shit coming out of my face. Half of my mouth is buried in a donut, and she's like, "Yeah, that's the one."
All I can picture is you going into diabetic shock.
I was going to say,
smile.
It's captioned, "What did you think, Hunter? Worth the insulin," is what I said about it.
I remember seeing that one too. That's pretty funny. For anybody that didn't see the caption and knows about Hunter's history with diabetes, that probably looked like a suicide note to them.
I will say,
don't do it.
My favorite comment that I made on any of your wedding honeymoon pictures was when you guys were at Waffle House and she took a picture of you, and I said, "This what did I say? Hold on, no,
it's worth it.
It's worth it."
Oh my fuck! God. I remember
because I
don't want
to fuck it up.
It was so good.
He doesn't want to miss a thing. He doesn't want to close his eyes.
Yeah, because then he won't be able to read it.
I was trying to make an Aerosmith joke. You did.
I got it.
I know.
I got it right here.
Which is not a good idea now that I reflect on it.
My favorite comment that I made on any of your wedding pictures was the one Libby took of you at Waffle House, and I said, "Oh, my heart is scattered, smothered, and covered by this picture."
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I hate, as much as I hate to chime in when Casey goes, "Here, let me talk about my favorite things I've done recently." And I want to just blow him up. That's pretty funny.
I was half asleep. I rolled over and was looking at my pictures, and I saw that one, and I just commented on it, and then I woke up later and was like, Man, fucking Have a Sleep Me is on point.
Dude, she blows me away with how she takes pictures with like food or drinks, though, because she's not a vain person in the slightest, but she always looks fantastic while consuming stuff.
Because she's elegant and poised.
And she knows how to do that.
Classy, yeah.
And then when it's my turn, every time, like with the donut or Waffle House with the coffee, it's like either you're not going to be eating it or you're going to consume it. Hunter doesn't know how to pose properly, so you're going to get me holding the mug or you're going to get the mug with coffee like running down my chin because I'm trying too hard to drink it for the camera.
So all I've gathered from this conversation is that while Hunter was enjoying his wonderful honeymoon,
it was amazing.
Amazing marriage and wedding, me and Spencer were sick as shit.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. So.
I'm sorry, guys.
What's it like to be one of the winners? Anyway.
It feels like you're going to lose soon. I feel like I'm getting sick now that I'm back home.
Yeah, welcome back.
I'm going to take some zinc. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Do.
Since you left.
Why do we have to sing every episode?
Anyway,
I'm waiting for Spencer to start beatboxing.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Anyway, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. That's a pretty significant thing. You just got back from your honeymoon. That's fucking huge. Tell me, what are some of your big highlights from the honeymoon? Did you, real quick, you went to Florida, right?
Yeah.
Did you see any alligators?
No.
I care. I really care about them.
I did not see any alligators. I think they were in the sewers. They migrate to New York for the winter. They like it cold.
Indeed.
I think the three best things were, one, Libby underestimating what a lightweight I am with rides. I'll give you guys a short version for all this, but she was very supportive of the whole, because we've discussed before, I can't do roller coasters. I can do motion rides, but not if they're extreme, blah, blah, blah. So we get to Hogwarts, I think day 1 or 2, and I looked up a video of this ride. She told me about it, and I was like, I mean, it'll probably jolt me a couple times, but I'll be fine. It looks awesome. So we get in, and it's the one where you go through Hogwarts, and you're on the Quidditch broom or whatever. And I did not realize how fast it was going to go, and it doesn't go fast. But I was caught off guard. So we get in, and the seat comes down to like secure you, and here's Emma Watson's fucking face on the screen going, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. And then I get zipped the fuck up into the sky, but it's all black, so I can't see shit. And I immediately feel like I'm falling. And I spent the entire ride in a panic, just like shaking my fucking ass off, and Libby being like, it's okay, look at this, like I'm a toddler. And she's like, look, it's not bad, it's a ride, you're safe. And the whole time I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Jesus, God, get me off of this ride alive. I'm just spazzing.
I can't honestly say that I would have been any differently. I hate when, like, I can ride really gentle rides.
Yeah.
And I actually love sort of like easy rides, but the extreme rides make me feel, they give me the worst feeling. I fucking hate it.
This ride was amazing, by the way. The parts where I wasn't like panicking with my eyes closed, which was only about half of it, I loved every second of it, but I couldn't handle the movement. The other was King Kong. I hate to be super brief because it was awesome, but the best description is, it's small, but as soon as you walk under the Kong mouth, you are immersed on the level of Harry Potter world into Skull Island. The line queue is no different than a haunted house. So I finally experienced one for the first time. I was shaking in my fucking boots.
Not like a real one, though. We got to take you to Fryworks, buddy.
I believe you, Casey, but when you go through the King Kong ride and piss yourself 4 times, we can talk about it then. And then you do the ride, and the ride is amazing.
Hunter's like, I filled King Kong up with piss.
I did. The amount of little kids in that thing,
So
I was like, get these kids.
You did watch the Brogain videos.
Sorry.
Let me ask, did King Kong get drunk just because we discussed diabetic piss? Anyway, nothing.
But the other was E.T., because Libby, my whole thing getting there, I was like, you like roller coasters. I do not. I like the gentle rides, like Spencer was saying. And she was like, I mean, that sounds okay. Like, I'm not against them, but she likes the more thrilling ones. I go, I'm going to take you to E.T. You're going to love E.T. E.T. is designed for 4-year-olds, so it's super gentle. But I kept thinking, I know she'll like it, but how much? We got off of E.T. and Libby was spazzing the whole time about how amazing it was during the ride.
Awesome.
And then she walks out and she goes, can we do it again? Like right now, can we do it again? I was like, let's just go back through the line. She fucking loved it.
Awesome.
Let me ask you this. In the E.T. ride, when you see the cops and the FBI agents, do they have walkie-talkies or shotguns?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Nice.
Some of them have guns.
I don't know if you guys know this, but in the remastered E.T., they actually took the shotguns out of the cops' hands and gave them walkie-talkies. And so they just like are holding what looks like They should be holding a shotgun, except there's just a walkie-talkie in
Or
one hand.
or they should be holding a giant snail. You see
Yeah,
that all those pictures of like guitarists, if they replace the guitar with like a big snail because they make these faces and they're playing guitar and it looks like they're holding a fucking snail. It's great.
Yeah. No, those are my three favorite, and those are. But like there were other things. I saw a Studio Ghibli film for the first time ever in my life in a movie theater. Spirited Away. It was amazing.
Whoa.
I'm so shocked. That was the first one I saw at Easttown Mall.
My first was Princess Mononoke, but I've only seen like half of them, and it's because they're expensive to buy, and I want to see them, but I want to see them in a proper setting. So,
You found the right guy. I've been collecting them for the last 5 years.
we need to have another movie night at your house.
I have Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, and Secrets of Arrietty, and My Neighbor Totoro. Those are the ones that I've wanted first, and that's what I've.
Those are the ones that I've seen. So when you get the next one, we'll do it. But
Ponyo is. They're all basically
Disney remakes, kind of,
which
is probably why Disney like co-funds them.
I
Maybe
think so. Spirited Away is Alice in Wonderland. Howl's Moving Castle is Beauty and the Beast. Princess Mononoke, I want to say it's Pocahontas, but I'm not 100% on that.
Ooh, it might be actually. I haven't seen it in a while. Libby did not know about the Lost Continent on Islands of Adventure, and there's not even a ride. It's just an actual bazaar with food and like shops. And there's the Poseidon's Fury kind of special effects show that you walk through the middle of. That's all it is. Universal does not advertise it, and I think they're probably getting rid of it slowly because part of it went to Harry Potter when they built it. Deserves it. Harry Potter's great. But Lost Continent is almost as immersive as Harry Potter World, and you're immediately transplanted into like Lemuria or wherever Atlantis was. And there's all of this gorgeous giant statues of like arms and legs like Greek gods and stuff that are rotting and everything, but it looks beautiful still. And you go into this collapsing temple, and like, I don't know why they probably don't advertise it because there's not a ride. There's literally not a ride there, but it's worth an entire day of admission alone just to go there and wander around, just like Harry Potter. Like, you don't have to ride, just go and be there.
What if that's where the lost city of Atlantis fell, and they just built a theme park around it?
Those fuckers. It's been in Florida the whole time.
It's been in Florida the whole time.
Shit. Thanks, Obama.
No wonder their team's so good. Oh, sorry.
What?
I don't know.
Well, because they always kick our shit in. I would imagine they probably like get
I mean,
juiced
just because
up
they
on...
beat Tennessee doesn't mean they're good.
No, Tennessee sucks. Sorry, guys. We do. But, you know.
Trust me, the last few weeks have proven that.
Oh, we beat Charlotte, though.
And that counts, but I think what's more important is that we need
Took
to...
a long time. Like, the fans are so disenfranchised at this point that, like, even the win over Charlotte was just so slow and painful that they were like, I give up. That's it.
That's the biggest problem is the fans. You guys are super supportive and you bleed orange all the time. You like to say that stuff. How about you also take a moment to step back and go, these kids are not in the NFL. They're actually in school, and a lot of them are using this scholarship in order to get a degree. So how about you shut the fuck up and leave them alone about winning next week and all that shit, and let them get some good grades.
I'm not shitting on like sports fans because if anybody's talked to me about the Golden State Warriors, you know that I'm almost ready.
Are you a fan of the Golden State Warriors? I had no idea.
I'm almost ready to fight over it like right now. Okay. And I make all these egregious statements like they're the greatest sports team in history. They have possibly three of the best athletes that have ever lived.
It was only egregious because it's not true though, right?
We'll see.
Okay.
But the whole thing about when people get mad over like a team or something like that, it's tribalism. It's just advanced tribalism. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of advanced East Tennessee tribalism. Like, it's not really just about nobody even. I feel like you made a great point. These are people just trying to go to school. So but at the same time, a lot of people don't even see the players. They just see this big orange monster that comes through once a year, and like it means that they're going to the cookout and the tailgate, and that there is a competition to watch, and I don't know. I mean, I do it like I said with I do it with the NBA, but fucking I can see. I don't know. There's something. It's a bizarre facet of humanity that people just get really wound up over the thing, like the fight or the game or the content. They want to see something big happening. You know.
I think that's all awesome. I don't share it because I'm not interested in sports on that level, but I don't have a problem with it. Just to go back for a second, I do have a problem with the people that kind of dish shit on these kids, though, because they are there for school.
Or
That's their
they
primary
wish
reason.
like injury on them. I wish,
that
I wish they'd
stuff.
break that guy's arm. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
Oh, there's a Georgia player down. Good. I hope he's hurt.
Yeah.
Stam said
Stam.
that.
Yeah.
Like he didn't. We know he didn't mean it that way.
Of course
but
he didn't.
They were like, they finally got that guy that's giving us a hard time out of there. It goes, well, it's about time. Like,
But
whoa,
yeah,
buddy.
these people are just out of high school. Everybody, like, let's not forget that, please.
Yeah.
I don't. But here's the thing: is like we talk like Tennessee's the only one that has this. Every state's got their diehard fans that just say horrible shit. Every single one. There's not a single state. I know someone's like, my state doesn't. Bullshit. You just the fact that we live here is why we see it the most.
Yeah, and I think it's fun to get ramped up behind something like for me, the guys on the team that I like are nearly superhuman, but they're really doing superhuman things. I mean, there's a lot of great guys. A lot of people go, well, I like that one guy that you kind of hear about, but like these guys are breaking like brand new Guinness World Records like every 3 games. We've never seen anything like it. Not even from like Michael Jordan, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for that, but he was a different kind of player. This was the 90s. It was a different time. There was a lot of inside physicality, like hard in the paint, like that song. They really did go hard. The game doesn't occur in the paint anymore. The game occurs from like all these outside remote locations, and they're shooting like 40-foot shots that humans shouldn't be able to hit at 52%.
Yeah.
It's crazy. To me, it's one of the most exhilarating things because we've just never seen anything like it before. But when I believe they're about to play somebody, like I get fucking amped up and I talk a lot of shit too. I'll go, they're going to beat your fucking team by like 30. They're going to go 30 on that guy and like have your friend go, no, man, they're going to lose. And you get amped up and then it happens, you know, and it's like, for a minute, the outcome almost doesn't matter. I mean, I get it. If you're an enthusiast.
Yeah, but that's different from talking shit about the team because they sucked at a game later all throughout the week because they endure that while they're going to class and practice until the next game shows up.
And
That's the thing I was talking about.
Well, and in the NBA, it's a business. like the Golden State Warriors are a business. There's a lot of money behind it, and there's a lot of money being generated from it. So you could talk about like you said, these are kids that are just like going to school. I mean, it is still kind of a business, but not for the team.
It is, but the team are students. The team are high school graduates, barely.
True. That's true.
That was the whole thing.
I think we're the 3 most unqualified people to talk about sports.
I think we're qualified to talk about humanity.
I'll talk about basketball with anybody. Let's go. Let's talk about the history of it right now.
I hate
Space Jam
basketball.
sucks.
I feel like these guys are better than the team in Space Jam. They would beat the Space Jam team.
I bet they'd act better than the team in Space Jam, too. Michael Jordan's acting is about as good as his golf career, man.
I'm wondering.
He actually wasn't, believe it or not, he was actually kind of okay at golf. It's baseball that he sort of struggled a little.
See, I don't know anything about sports ball. You just
sports ball. Get out of here.
Sport ball.
His son, however, is fantastic. Michael B. Jordan, good Lord.
That is not.
That is his son.
That's not Michael Jordan's son, you double nuts.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I've seen an interview where he talked about it. That's why he does the Michael B. Jordan thing. That is his son.
No.
Yes.
That's
I feel like
wrong.
it's not. It's not.
It's 100%
Show us.
wrong.
You fucking Google it. There's no way.
Yeah, Google
gonna
it.
Google it right
Google
now.
it. You pull that up on Google right now.
Dude, I watch movie news every day. I
things
remember
that
this
don't
stuff.
fucking exist.
Dude, if you prove that Michael B. Jordan is in any way related to the Michael Jordan, I will go back and like all of your melancholy food videos from your honeymoon.
You didn't like them already?
I might have. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, you don't.
I know you're just like me sitting on the shitter looking at 100 being happy.
That is true. I've totally looked at. Let's just get real honest. I've looked at both of you guys on the toilet. I have, and a lot of other people. A lot of people listen to this podcast have been viewed on Instagram by me while I was pooping.
Yeah. What? No, I'm not going to go
You can take that however you want. If you want to take that as like an insult, take it as an insult. If you want to say it's gross, but you know what? If you think about it, it's a fucking honor. Okay. And I honored you by occupying my bathroom time.
And I don't mean to circle back to what we were talking about before, but I did have a topic I wanted to talk about, focusing on how you are when you're sick. Because me, when I get sick, I turn into a giant man-child. And I just want to whine and complain about how sick I am.
Same.
So you said you take zinc. What other combination?
Well, I have a particular condition where I was in a lot of people that know me have heard me tell this story, and maybe one day I'll tell it on the podcast, but I was in a couple of really terrible car accidents when I was younger. The most significant of which, I was a teenager and I was in a horrible car wreck where I wound up having plastic surgery. I had open heart surgery. I had all kinds of stuff. I broke my pelvis, my knee, it's terrible. And most significantly, they had to remove my spleen. And your spleen is about 70% of your immune system. Okay?
Can you
can live fine without a spleen, but your liver and your bone marrow produce all your white blood cells. And here's the net effect of this is you can still be okay. You can still develop some immunities and things like that. But if you get sick, you get, like when I get sick, I get fucking sick. Like, I mean, I get like,
so sick.
yeah, that kind of sick. And we're going to start doing that more and more. But like, I have to really stay on top of it. And so like, I have to, if the zinc thing doesn't work, like if I get a serious bacterial infection, you know, I have to get my ass to the doctor and get on some antibiotics quick. There's no screwing around. There's no, well, it'll be okay in a couple of days. Like I've really got to aggressively treat it or I'm done. And if I were to get pneumonia, I've had a bunch of vaccines too. There's a battery of vaccines you get, but if I were to get really bad pneumonia, like I could wind up in a coma in like 24 hours.
Damn.
So I got to watch out.
Holy shit.
Sucks.
So,
Okay,
Michael B. Jordan
Hunter's
is the son of Michael Jordan. Michael A. Jordan, who is not Michael J. Jordan. Michael J. Jordan is the athlete. So, you guys are right. I don't fucking know where I heard that. They were probably...
I'm going to come across this table and kick your Air Jordans up into your stomach.
Dude.
I just want to point out one thing. Hunter, if you could do me a favor, turn that mic off, take your headphones off, and get the fuck out.
And fuck right off. You could just fuck straight off.
I used to think it was weird because I remembered they must have just been mentioning maybe the Michael B. Jordan was important because of the other Michael Jordan. I don't remember what the context was years ago when they talked about it. I must have been half listening and just decided they were related. I always remembered thinking it was weird because like they don't look anything alike.
And you know what? This is 2018, and you can't just assume someone's genealogy. Okay.
Anyway, so Hunter, what do you take when you're sick?
Yeah,
I take
avoiding
insulin.
avoiding that conversation.
He made it a racist thing. Spencer.
No, you know what, Hunter? You made it a racist thing.
No, I did.
You kind of did.
I, on the other hand, just said I like basketball.
So, Hunter, what do you
Jesus
take when you're
Christ.
sick? God damn it.
Oh my God.
How do you handle being sick?
I handle it by checking my blood sugar constantly and taking insulin.
Yeah, can you take like NyQuil and things like that?
I can. It's fine. It depends on what the other sickness is, but
And you know the biggest thing about NyQuil, a lot of people have good results from NyQuil. One of the biggest things about NyQuil is that it just allows you to get sleep, which is ultimately, I've told a lot of people this. If you're, like a lot of people I work with, like will get sick and they're like, I don't know. And I'll tell them like, look, man, the best thing you can do is get tons of fluids and get a lot of sleep. If you're a healthy person that has a spleen, unlike me, like you can probably kick it if you just really, really, really take care of yourself. Load up on zinc, make sure you get a ton of sleep, lots of fluids. Like that's almost the remedy for the common cold, you know?
Well, this time when I was sick, it was all in my head. It was like forehead was all stopped up. My eyes were watery.
did you meditate to get rid of it?
Nose was congested. No, I didn't meditate. However, I didn't take any
Dick face.
I didn't take any Dayquil or NyQuil or Mucinex or anything like that because it wasn't in my chest. So I literally just took ibuprofen and echinacea the entire time. Like every 12 hours, I was taking an echinacea pill.
Yep.
Every 4 hours, I was taking 2 ibuprofen.
Were
And
you
breaking the fever or whatever infection I
And
had.
you were talking about having stuff in your chest. That's another big one is deciding like what kind of a cough you have. If you have a productive cough or if you have like a anti-productive cough, because you can get cough syrup that will
Has expectorant.
an expectorant like guaifenesin goes in the which is also Mucinex. And that's if you've got a lot of mucus and you want to get it up, get it out, it'll thin it up and it's easy to cough it up, which gives you what they call a productive cough. But if you just have this like dry hacking cough that you just need to get rid of, you don't want that. You want something else that sort of like reduces your urge. Suppressant, yeah. Cough suppressant.
Yeah, the last time I had the flu, my stepmom set me up with, she was like, take 2 ibuprofen and echinacea and Mucinex DM. And she goes, do this every like 8 hours, the echinacea every 12.
Yeah.
And within 3 days, I was already done with the flu.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it's
And you were right. I remember you telling me that story before and you were like, man, one night I felt terrible. I just like took that stuff. I took like 2 ibuprofen, which for a lot of people, 2 ibuprofen is not a lot. You can take up to like 4 at once and be okay. If you're going to be taking it on a cycle, you don't want to take more than 3. They're about 200 milligrams each. So if you're in a lot of pain, and you have to work and you can't relax or whatever, you can take up to 3 ibuprofen every 4 hours, and it's safe. Totally safe. It's not going to hurt you, anything like. But just to understand, it is a blood thinner. It thins the blood a little bit. For most people, not a big deal. But if you would, if you were about to have surgery or something like that, you don't want to take it.
Echinacea. You were saying zinc. Echinacea is amazing.
Echinacea is good if you have a productive immune system. Like echinacea does the shit for me because I don't have a spleen. But for you guys, like echinacea will ramp up your immune system a little bit and give you a fighting chance.
But here's the weird thing. Everyone has their go-to foods when they're sick. And I'm kind of curious, is it just me, or do you guys do this as well? Chicken noodle soup, grilled cheese, and crackers of some sort are the only 3 things I eat the entire time.
Those are comfort foods to me. Like I eat that shit when I'm depressed or something.
Really? I only eat that when I'm sick. I only crave it when I'm sick.
Here's what I think. The chicken soup thing is very popular. A lot of people go chicken soup if you're sick.
I think it's just the broth.
Sodium.
It's the salt, yeah.
Got a lot of sodium in it, which it's same as the effect with pickle juice. If you're out drinking and you're having a couple or whatever, if you're lucky enough to understand and know the glory that is the pickleback shot, it's a shot of Jameson and you chase it with pickle juice. And it may sound weird, but if you enjoy pickles or pickle juice at all, you'll love it. If you don't, stay away from it. But it tends to make you feel better over the course of the night because the sodium makes you retain a lot of fluids. It keeps you hydrated. It's kind of the same effect as like Gatorade or something. I think chicken soup has a similar effect. Plus, it's good. It feels like comfort. You probably had it when you were a kid, so there's a reason. But I think it's the sodium, and it kind of keeps you hydrated. And like I said, fluids are huge. Every important process in your body basically occurs in water.
Yeah.
So you've got to stay hydrated, and it's like a big deal. And
the only thing I do different is I share all 3 of those, but also like usually wind up craving some kind of like real hearty beef stew at some point during that time. Yeah.
Something hot with a lot of like
Just
broth.
Probably still the sodium part of it.
And man, I've been hearing people talk about bone broth. I haven't done it, but supposedly bone broth is one of the healthiest things you can fucking eat.
Bone broth is amazing.
I've not had it. You
can buy cartons of it, and it's supposed to be just like crazy lights out good for you.
My mother-in-law makes it from scratch, like maybe once every 1 or 2 months. And I was disgusted by the idea at first.
Because it kind of sounds gross.
It sounds gross.
It sounds like you broke a bone.
It's like, hey, do you want some bone juice?
Yeah, but she was like, hey, this is going to sound weird, explained it. And I was like, it does sound weird, but why not? We'll try it. You're not going to poison anybody. So it's delicious. It is. Yeah. It tastes great. And
historically, what's inside and of the bones is fucking phenomenally healthy. That evolution, at one point, key point in our evolution, somewhere back along our ancestral lineage, one of the things we used to be, not a Neanderthal, but something else, they learned to like crack open bones. So they would find like a lion carcass or something like that, and they actually could use rocks and they bust the bones open and eat the marrow inside, which I know this sounds gross, but it had the most incredibly dense like protein and nutrition, whatever, and it helped them grow big brains, and it was like a major explosion in like our development and our evolution. So it was like being able to eat bones and stuff.
I have had bone marrow before. That
actual bone marrow?
Yeah, like I was at a restaurant in Vegas for my brother's wedding, and we went to this restaurant, and they brought out shank, like lamb shank, and it came with this huge like nub bone with it, and inside was like this marrow kind of paste stuff.
And it wasn't broth, it was actually bone marrow?
It was like this like just like, and I dug in there, and like good? The guy was like, you get some of that, put it on the meat, eat, and I was like, was
it awesome?
It was incredible.
Did you feel good after you ate it? Was there? Do you remember?
I was drinking a lot.
So yes. No, but that's it's supposed like I've walked by it in the store and go, fuck, bone broth. I'm supposed to be drinking that or eating that or something, and I just go,
It's worth it. You guys should try it. It's good.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, and there's a big, I think, for the record, I think it's kind of nice that right now, like coming up on cold and flu season, we're giving all of our listeners a little bit of a battery on like what to do.
That's why I thought it'd be a good topic.
This is a great topic. You guys make note of that. Beacon House audience, we're trying to take care of you guys. And none of us are doctors, so we don't have any fucking idea what we're talking about. But
and if you're laid up sick right now, listen to our amazing voices trying not to throw up from the sound of it. It's even better. It's
Or
great.
just take a trip to Orlando for a week. It'll do wonders.
I bet it will.
Would you quit with Orlando? We get it. It was great.
Well, you did cryptozoology without me, so fuck you.
It was pretty awesome.
It was a great episode,
It was a really
guys. You did great.
episode.
It was wonderful.
We had a good time. But no, there's probably a lot to be said for the preventative nature of getting sick too. From what I have read,
Most important part.
very few viruses and germs and things like that are airborne. Most of it is transmitted through touch. So like hand washing is huge. I've talked to a ton of different health inspectors like down through the years, and like they're all like hand washing is the biggest thing. Like just wash your hands a lot.
No hand sanitizer, actual soap, hand wash.
Really?
Hand sanitizer will kill the good germs on your hands, and that's how superbugs are created.
Really? Haven't heard
That
about
makes sense because it kills 99.9%, so it's eradicating everything.
soap
It's
doesn't?
okay. It's okay for to use hand sanitizer. Which this is funny that I'm saying this is because I'm known very much to use hand sanitizer at any given chance that I can. But yes, apparently when you use hand sanitizer once and then you go back and do it again, and you haven't like washed your hands in between, you start killing off like good germs, and then the other like bad bacteria and things like that can learn how to fend itself against those weakened germs and then create superbugs.
That's interesting. I know that I will use
It's
hand
the
sanitizer
theory.
if like this is going to sound insensitive, but like if like I don't know, like if like I shook hands with like a homeless dude or something, like
I don't do that.
well, just sometimes people come up and extend their hand, and I don't think
Too
I've ever
germophobe.
I don't think I've ever refused to shake anybody's hand, but like sometimes if like you can tell. And you just don't know, like, and again, I'm not trying to be gross, but I mean, like, you don't know what somebody's been doing. They could have like fecal matter. They've tested any. Remember the Oprah show where they went all over and tested everything for fecal matter, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
On the handle of the shopping cart, on all the kids' toys at the toy store, everywhere. Just everything's covered in shit, basically. Which now that we think of it, that kind of starts a philosophy. But if I really feel like I've got something like that, like something that could possibly lead to hepatitis or something, I'll use hand sanitizer and try to wash my hands.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like. I guess I don't think I fuck with it that much. I mean, I try to wash my hands and stuff, but like,
That's why my hands are dried out as shit because I use it.
yeah.
all the time.
And I'm one of these people too that believes that like being exposed to some kind of a wide palette of bacteria is sort of good for you.
Yeah.
because it gives you like they talk about the gut biome and trying to have like healthy gut bacteria, and like the studies are still out on that, but there's a whole lot of really good reasons to try to expose your digestive system to a wide variety of different enzymes and stuff like that. So yeah, you can take like a probiotic, but they say if you're going to take probiotics, take a bunch of different ones. Don't just take one. Try to expose your body to as much complex bacteria as possible.
I used to do gummy probiotics,
Yep.
and it honestly made my stomach hurt more. But I think it's because I needed to take them over, like keep taking it, and then eventually it would get better. But like,
Well, you
right
got
there
to
at first.
Here's another thing about probiotics too: is you have to, if you're taking probiotics because you want to have good gut health. And I know I hate that I say that. I hate when people go, "You got to have good gut health." What is the gut exactly? Show me on an anatomical doll what part is. They talk about that's your abdomen. They call it's what they call your gut, but it's your intestines and stuff. And
It's your core, man.
the thing is, if you're going to do probiotics, or even if you're not, it's important to get a lot of fiber. And we're getting it. I'm trying not to make poop jokes. It's so hard. But
And don't fuck up your cutter.
basically the way it worked, hey, that's your equipment. It's got to last a lifetime, okay?
Oh, shout out to John Lumen.
Don't blow out the cutter. But in short, and again, I'm not a scientist, but just take this for what it's worth. You're supposed to have a certain type of bacteria in your colon and a different type of bacteria like in your lower intestine. They're not supposed to hang out. And most of the time when people experience things like bloating and cramping and things aren't going well down there, it's because they don't have enough fiber. The bacteria from the colon starts coming up and it like knocks on the door and it's like, hey, can we get some fucking food in here? Like, so we need, and it comes up into your lower intestine and looking for things like sugar and shit like that, carbohydrates and stuff like that. So that's another reason to get tons of fiber, and then the healthy bacteria stays where it's supposed to, and you should have good poops.
Maybe I should just start eating more fiber, I guess.
Well, life is a crapshoot, Casey, so you should be able to try that and see.
Look at
Why
him.
are you
Look how
sighing?
proud he is. Look how proud he is right now.
I laid in wait.
If you guys could see Hunter's face, he's so proud of himself right now.
He's taking a picture of
Life's
himself.
a crapshoot.
It'd be better than my
mean,
face buried
it's
in a donut, probably.
What are some other health remedies? Do you what do you
Kombucha. That's actually on the
gut health.
subject of gut health. Yeah.
sauerkraut? If you can handle any way you can get sauerkraut.
I eat anything pickled. Like
That's another
pickled
good one.
beets,
Yeah.
pickles.
I love pickled things. I can't do
okra.
kombucha.
Oh my god, spicy
Pickled okra is great.
So good.
Yeah, and I love just pickles and pickle juice. And
I've seen kombucha, but I've never tried it. What's it
It's
taste like?
it's a bacteria tea. It depends on the recipe.
it's kind of a fermented
It's fermented.
It's a little sour. It doesn't. I've had some that tasted really good.
I've had some that were good and others that tasted like just
Horrible.
butt. So
Yeah, but it's super good for your gut. But so, like I said, sauerkraut is the same way, and like there's a lot of things you can eat that have a wide variety of good bacteria. You know,
you should get a kombucha tea just once because they're not expensive either. Like one bottle, find a flavor that sounds good to you, and just see what you think because it will be good for you either way. You won't hurt yourself, but it might be too much. Like for me, it's 50-50, so I avoid it. But
I always liked wheatgrass shots. Like anytime I'm feeling like cruddy or crummy, I go to the juice bar and get a wheatgrass shot, and it's supposed to put like a lot of good shit in
yeah,
your body.
you had us doing those for a while, and we were really into them. And they would put wheatgrass by itself tastes fucking horrible.
Yeah, it tastes like grounded up yard work.
But if you get a little bit of like lemon in it, and then what's the other thing? Ginger.
Ginger.
Lemon and ginger in it. You can take a little shot, and it really does make you feel better.
That's
Do
another
ginger
thing.
shots, too.
Not sponsored by the juice bar, but they have a shot that they have in there, and it's called the Sniffle Stopper, and it's ginger, lemon, essential oils, like certain essential oils to help you with like immune system, things like that. But then they do like a cayenne pepper and like other stuff, and so you shoot this, and it just burns all the way down, but it dries you out real quick.
Yeah, that's kind of the same. That's actually a contact simulated effect. Like some of that stuff is so spicy, like it's obviously not going to kill you, but it will kill bacteria as it goes down the throat. Same with like salt. They talk about if you have a sore throat, if the infection is high up enough for it to hurt when you swallow, you could probably kill it with salt. So that's why you gargle with salt water. Like it literally kills the bacteria on the part that it touches. So.
I love this. I love this remedy talk. I'm getting.
well, there were
I'm waiting for
ginger
like
shots
a bunch of like actual people that are in like med school to
that are
just
going to call us
fucking
out.
wear
Yeah,
us
yeah.
out.
Kathleen Godwin.
God, there's a lot of people that know more about this than us. But there are some things. Well, and some of the stuff that's being sold to you, like at Walgreens, is bullshit too. And a lot of the bullshit market is the probiotics and stuff like that. And my doctor, I had a really good doctor. He retired recently, and it broke my fucking heart. But he was the best doctor I've ever had in my life. And he liked to talk about the physiology of the body. Like if you went in and go, oh man, I'm just not feeling good, he would go, okay, what's your symptoms? And he would pull the internet and go, see, here's how this works. And he would teach you about yourself, But
I love that.
It was really, really cool. But he was talking about, I was like, man, because a lot of the nurses would go, okay, well, here's a prescription for whatever antibiotic, and you probably want to get some probiotics to go with that. Or the people at Walgreens will tell you that. And I think it's kind of like they're trained to say that maybe. But I told my doctor, I go, so I should probably maybe pick up a probiotic. And he goes, man, your body produces what bacteria it produces. Like taking a probiotic, if you don't have a deficiency of one kind of bacteria, it's not going to help you. And some of that stuff can get really expensive because just try it. And if one of them makes you feel better, then okay. But don't just think you automatically have to take a probiotic whenever you get antibiotics. It doesn't work like that necessarily,
I did have somebody once get me hooked on papaya enzymes, little chewable tablets, and apparently
I've
that's
never
really
heard
good.
of that.
That's really good for helping upset stomachs.
Okay.
It's supposed to like kind of soothe.
Sure.
I'd rather just get sushi and like eat all that ginger first.
You gotta
let
be
it settle,
careful.
and then-
Like I had someone take a health class, one of my bosses, when I worked down in Florida, and they went through like all this, what foods can do what. Shellfish is dangerous. Like if not done right. Not cooked properly or
Like crab and
properly,
lobster and
there's parasites in it that could fuck you up.
yeah. Well, same with a lot of
Especially scallops. Scallops are
Really?
If they go anywhere close to being bad, they can be real bad for you. So I don't ever eat scallops.
That's terrifying too, like foodborne allergies or just like I get fucking terrified just when I'm like cooking like hamburger or eggs or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I always cook it really well, but like if it gets on the counter or like when I crack eggs and like they run on the hand for a minute, I'm like washing my hands like crazy. Like I'm so afraid of like,
You've
I'm
never
so
done
glad I'm
raw
not
egg
the only one that
shots?
does that.
Oh, no, dude.
I'll dump ground beef in the pan, and it'll sit there for 2 minutes and cook by itself while I'm scrubbing my hands.
Damn
I'm
right.
Like, I touched raw meat. Gross.
That's right.
That's not a bad. That's a good idea.
You ever handle raw chicken?
Nope.
Oh, that's scary.
Terrifies the shit out of you. I mean,
I
you
love
cook
cooking
it,
chicken, but yeah, it's scary.
Salmonella
Man.
is a bitch.
The minute I put it in the oven or whatever, I just disinfect the whole kitchen. You know, sometimes I get, like one time I went through with bleached. I was so scared, you know, because like the chicken fell on the counter for a minute. I picked it up and I was like, oh, there we go. And so by the time like the chicken was done cooking, my whole kitchen smelled like bleach. I couldn't eat
Think
it.
about this. Think about the end times where there's no hospitals and no medicine anymore, and you accidentally eat something that's not cooked all the way through. You're done. You're fucked.
Maybe. I mean,
It depends.
Like you get E. coli or salmonella, like
it could kill you for sure.
that could dehydrate you.
Well, and a big part of that, you know, again, that's the reason that we. I know a lot of people are really into like the raw food movement and that kind of thing, but that one of the big reasons that we cook our food is because there's so much stuff that we eat that could kill you. Mm-hmm. So just cooking things in general is kind of the, you know, you got to. I mean, obviously you have to be clean with what you handle and everything like that. But there's a reason that we've cooked food for so many years. You know.
Now let me ask you this: talking about raw foods and things like that, how do you get your steaks?
Man,
Medium or medium rare.
Medium rare.
most guys, I'm a medium well guy.
Really?
That's okay.
I like anywhere between medium and medium rare.
I enjoy the taste of meat that's very well cooked and not overcooked, not burnt, but very well cooked.
No,
And
same. But with a steak, like it's different because generally I share that with the meat.
I know
But when
some
it comes to a
people-
steak, I like the pink center.
I like just barely. I like a warm pink.
I don't
center,
like it.
Medium.
I don't like seeing the blood on the plate.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
doesn't bother
happens.
me.
It doesn't bother me. Like I'll still eat it, but I don't prefer that. I prefer it to look like a clean plate. But when you cut into the steak, there's warm pink in the middle.
I'm just saying, I know people who are like,
bloody as hell.
oh, they're 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other, and give it to me.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Ian,
like-
I love you, Ian.
Does he really do that?
Yeah, I don't know if he still does, but
See,
he's done that before.
I don't get a whole lot of taste out of that. To be perfectly honest, I feel like I'm just eating like some raw meat. Like I don't know. My favorite steak is just a strip steak, and there's a real generic video you can
Does
watch.
it undress slowly?
Shut the fuck up. There's a
Boo!
God.
Boo!
There's a generic video you can watch on YouTube. I think it's like Gordon Ramsay. It's a real basic how to cook
Oh,
a
in a
steak.
cast iron skillet?
Well, he's just using a skillet, and you literally just load it up with like grass-fed butter, and then you literally season it with just salt and pepper. Just salt and pepper it and pound it in both, and you fucking put it in there, and just a few minutes on both sides, and then you turn it up on the side to cook if there's fat along one side, you cook that, and then you cut another thing of butter and you just sort of baste it, and it doesn't take very long at all, and it is out of this fucking world. You can cook it whatever you want, but
I can never use a cast iron skillet.
Why?
I'm afraid I'm always going to fuck
I don't actually own a cast iron skillet.
Oh.
We do now.
It's supposed to be awesome.
Well, apparently, like, so before you even use it, you're supposed to rub it down with olive oil and then bake it in the oven for 30
You have
minutes.
to season it, yeah. And you're supposed to not use, I think, soap on it.
Yeah, you
supposed
don't.
to-
You don't want to do that.
Just water and a sponge.
No, I don't know why I said that about that. I think the soap is okay. I don't.
You don't wanna
Libby
use,
would be able to.
You don't
answer.
want to use like a steel wool on it. That'll fuck it up.
You never want to do that. You never want to wash it in a dishwasher or anything. Always by
Right.
hand. It might be without soap too. I can't remember.
Like, you're supposed to hand wash it. You can do it with soap, hand wash it, but you have to use a soft sponge.
Yeah.
And then after you're done, re-season it. Like, you have to reapply oil.
Yeah,
and put it back
that's
in
a
the oven.
trick. I think that you can buy special towels that you can wipe a pan out with. It'll take most of the grease and stuff out of the pan. So you kind of just rinse it with water and then wipe it out with these towels, and it stays seasoned.
yeah.
And that's kind of a.
Well, we
big
use
trick, I
a
think.
cast iron skillet over at Libby's parents' house all the time, and thank God we got one with the wedding gift, so we
Yeah.
can do this at the apartment. But she makes a stir fry that's real cheap and fast. You just like some vegetables, frozen or fresh, whatever the budget allows for, but dump them in on a sesame seed oil seasoned pan, and like everything bagel spice actually. A lot of that, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then rice, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'll tell you, I had kind of a. I tried to cook something this week, and it didn't go the way I
It
expected.
doesn't sound like it.
Right. Well, and like I'm doing like trying to like do this low carb thing or like no carb.
Spencer's doing great at it, by the way, you listeners. He's doing a good job.
But somebody told me, they were like, "Hey, you can make taco shells out of cheese."
Oh no.
And I was like, you can. And they were like, fuck yeah, just get some
No.
cheese and just throw it in the microwave it like 1 minute.
No.
And then you just put it in a little stand. Well, first off, I went to Walmart and I go, can I get some taco stands? And they looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I was like, well, I see
What the
picture
hell's
of
a taco stand?
it. Yeah. And so,
You should have gone to Target.
well, I didn't get them, but I got a big bag of like taco cheese and I did it. I made a little circle. I microwaved it for like a minute and it makes a circle and it does turn into like a flat thing. But then when you fold it up on the parchment paper or whatever, all this fucking grease runs out of it. Like
Yeah.
cheese is so oily and they don't tell you that. You can't get it dry. So there's just orange crap running all over the counter. I mean, it was bad.
What kind of cheese did you get though too? Because like
taco
a lot of that
cheese?
But it depends. That's the thing. Like it depends on. It's all going to be runny, like you were saying.
Yes.
But
Well, there's some cheddar and
was
there's
it
some.
the super processed stuff or like the closer to not? Because that's going to be.
It was
big
a bag
difference.
of Walmart fucking taco cheese. Okay,
That's part of why I did that.
but like, and so I tried to go back, and then you couldn't form it into like a taco shell. Like it just doesn't want to stand up, and it's terrible, and it's all gooey and like,
If you guys didn't know, Hunter's our in-house cheese expert.
dude, it turned out pretty bad, and like I had it all over me. Like, and it was just grease and then I tried to make like taco meat, which turned out okay, but it's greasy too. Like, dude, it was awful.
So basically, you just had diarrhea. You just had grease shits. All
My fucking sink looked like it looked
Wait,
like
shit in your sink?
I hate you guys.
Well, we found our blurb for the beginning of the
That was
episode.
Unplanned, ladies and gentlemen. That was true synchronicity.
Shit.
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna come shit in your sink. That's all.
Please
I got.
don't.
It's okay if it's a cast iron sink.
Wait. Oh my god.
I'm gonna come season your sink.
Oh god.
Can you imagine having a cast iron sink? It's like, oh, I gotta wash it. Better not use soap.
Yeah.
Do you,
That'd be weird.
Who
man.
washes their sink? The sink is what washes.
I wash my sink out. Like after I'm done with dishes, I'll put dish soap all throughout the sink and then scrub it down with a sponge and then use the hose to spray it down.
I do it periodically, but not often. That's a good call, Casey.
I guess I do that too.
Good job, Casey.
So if you don't, it just gets grimy with all the shit.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Before we get going,
Ayo. Okay, that's fine.
Casey needs some attention. Now,
Love me.
before we get going, we do want to remind everybody that we are very close now. By the time you guys are hearing this, we are super close to our next mailbag episode. And
Which means it's time for another meetup.
that's right.
Yep,
That's right.
yep.
The last one was super fun, and we brought our little coffin, and you guys wrote questions, and you put them in there, and it was so great.
It'll look different when
We
you
all
see
had
it.
coffee, and so as of this recording, we're not 1,000,000% exactly where we're going to do the meetup. We'll probably do it at Joe Muck's Coffee again.
I like the Cinnabar idea that you
We could potentially go to Cinnabar where there's games, and if somebody wants to play pool,
because it's
and-
designed for that. I'm still not used to thinking of it that way, but it's designed for that
and
reason.
it's
Yeah.
huge. And if we do it on like a Tuesday or something, it's there's almost nobody there, so we'd have the place to ourselves. And there's tons of fun games and stuff there, and if you're of age, you can drink at the bar or whatever. It would be a big kind of open platform, and they have
Yeah.
big tables too that everybody could sit around. So whatever, however you guys want to do it, we'll think about it. But we're probably looking at November 20th, I believe, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Probably the Tuesday after you hear it. So we'll say next Tuesday for most of you to our Beacon House meetup.
And just keep an eye on our Facebook. We'll tell you exactly
Yeah.
where and when.
We will put up an announcement. But we would love to have all of you guys come out. We'd love to shake your hand. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to have everybody that came before to come back. And also, if you've never actually met us, if you've never had a chance to come hang out with us or whatever, come see us.
We're ready to disappoint at any time.
That's right. That's right.
And
We'd
just
like-
remember, the box is for questions, not suggestions.
Although we welcome suggestions.
No, we don't.
But put questions in the box.
I welcome anything you want to put in our box.
You guys are very brave. Someone's going to shit in our box.
As long as we remember to wash our hands and not use hand sanitizer.
Oh.
Hey. So anyway,
Gross.
we appreciate you guys. Look, we hope that you guys, maybe somebody found some helpful tips on how to deal with a cold or how not to get sick or something on this. And we hope you guys.
We're going to have a bunch of doctors
Hope
show
you're-
up and be like, you dumb fucker.
Hope you're enjoying your sick days.
A nurse practitioner is going to come to the meetup and just kick my ass.
Yeah.
Fucking anyway.
You're ruining it.
But yeah, man, we hope you guys are feeling okay. And if not, we hope that we had some tips that helped out. And we want to see you guys at our next meetup. And we are looking forward to the next mailbag episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun.
Think up some good questions, you monsters.
Rogaine signing out.
Oh, man.
Oh my.